Hello, welcome back to the Escapists 2 Ultimate Speedrunning Guide for Solo. Today we're going to be looking at all the transport, whether that's to do with IL strats or in an all prisons situation, what you do as when you're doing an all prisons run, you don't actually know which escape you'll be doing. Because it's all about what appears on which discs and which one's faster to go with, and you adjust it during the run. So I'll go going through all that today, showing you some other runs on these transport prisons, showing how the IL strats make them faster, and yeah. Without further ado, let's just hop into Cougar. Okay, so Cougar is the first transport prison in the game. Now, it is probably the easiest in terms of trying to avoid guards and staying alive and being able to do it, but it's also one of the slowest in terms of how quickly you can search discs and how quickly everything unfolds, because you can only search 2 discs over here, and then there's the rest of the discs. So, for all strats, I'll start with all prisons. So, with all of the transport, the idea is that you want to just charge cancel to all the discs, and you start by going on the left side, search both these discs. Now, there's a good strat that I'd use here that I don't actually always remember to do. If this guard is either here, here, or if he's inside this cabin, then immediately go to the side first. But if he's up here, or if he's moving up here, search this disc first. Because the idea is that if you go here while he's there, or in the here, then he won't see you when you search this disc. Now, obviously there's 2 escapes to this. One is the horse escape, which you need a fake carrot for, which requires both pins, the orange pin, green pin, and the handkerchief. Now, also, you don't need to be scared about the guard being in here, because he literally can't see you if he's up and down here. As long as he's gotten to this position here, he will never ever see you. So, yeah. But it's as long as he's not moving up here, or if he's not already here, you don't really have to worry about him seeing you. Also, if he is just moving up here, even if he does see you as he comes back in, you'll usually finish searching the disc and be able to run out, just as long as he's already searched this disc. So yeah, just depending on where he is, you can see it on the map here, instead of, you don't have to go over and look. You can use that trick. And for the other escape, you're gonna need 2 crowbars, a duct tape, and a rope for the grapple hook escape, which is, yeah, obviously the grapple head, 2 crowbars, and that one. Okay, so yeah, start by searching these 2 discs. If he's in one of these positions, then go search this disc first and then come to this disc. But it doesn't really matter as long as you just don't, like, get held up by that guard. Okay, then just charge cancel this way. Try to avoid guards best you can. If a guard does see you, try and outrun it. But if you really have to knock it out, then you can. Yeah, so there, if he's here, you can wait for him, because he'll usually just go back up. He'll usually wait here, so yeah, there we go. So if he's going better this way, he'll usually wait. I would suggest you can either wait for him to go to here and then go across, or if you can hide in the toilet if you want. I usually just run past him. If a guard at the start does see you, these first like 2 guards, they don't matter nearly as much. Also, quick thing is that the contraband disc and the meta disc do not have anything useful for you. They do not. They don't. The contraband. None of these discs do anything. They don't. The contraband disc is empty until one of the guards sees contraband that you've left on the ground, and the mid disc will only ever have medical items. So this is the next disc. Now you should be able to. This guy always goes in this pattern, like an infinity sign around these things. So you can usually predict where he's going. I just got. Oh my god! Wow, that's okay. Also, this guard might see you, so just. If you've got a weapon, knock him out. At this stage, you probably need to be knocking out guards. That is lucky. So, at this stage, if you get everything by this disc, I suggest you, for the carrot escape, I suggest you go back. But, if you get everything by this disc, I suggest you just keep going, because I think it's faster to keep going for this escape than it is to go all the way back for carrot. Just because it's like a very little chance that the rope's going to be in that last disc. So it's probably better to go this way. And then even if it's not on this disc, just go that way anyway. You've got a high chance of getting a faster time if you go this way. And even so, it's not much of a time disadvantage if you don't get the rope in this disc. So if you if you don't on this infinity sign one, if you get everything from the carrot in this disc, then do the carrot escape. Run all the way back. A trick you can use if you don't have enough energy to charge cancel all that way is you can you can get knocked out by a guard near the medics as long as you have all the items for the cat escape, and get the medics to rush you back to your cell. So, because they're medics are about medics are about the same speed as charge canceling, and they're very consistent. So they're actually really fast. So if you get knocked out quick like this guard here, then then you could just easily get carried back, and you don't have to charge cancel, and it's probably actually quicker. So that's another strat you could use if you're doing carrot. But yeah, no, if you make it past this desk and you haven't got everything in the carrot, I highly suggest you do not do that escape, and you just focus on the grappling hook escape. With that being said, whatever items you get first, you should always do that escape. Like if you get all the grappling hook stuff at the start, just sprint to the front. You don't start looking for the carrot stuff. Just sprint here and get. This is for all prisons, by the way. Sprint here and just escape. So yeah, So this is where the grappling hook escape is. You just come to this area and then go up and then this way. And obviously the carrot escape is over back by the cells. This one here with the horses. So you just press E. So yeah, that's how you do it in all prisons. I'll just quickly show you where the other desk is. So if you were to not get everything in that one desk, or everything, that's the co-op desk. This is the last desk you'd have to search. Obviously there's not gonna be nothing in here, but you know, if I had to find the last route, then that's where I'd look, and that's where I'd find it. Yeah. So here we go. I'll quickly just trigger the escape. So yeah. Okay, I'll now show you IL strats for both grappling hook and pretend carrot, or whatever I think it's called. Yeah, I'll show you IL strats for hooked on you and for my Little Phoney, I think it's called, or something like that. Yeah, the horse one basically. I'll start with the horse just because it's probably the easiest to explain. So let's do that. Okay, so this IL starts off by basically it's done pretty well at this point. You have to spawn in this cell. If you don't spawn in this cell, I don't think it's possible. And you also need to once the game loads in and you're spamming spacebar, immediately start moving downwards, and if you hear the door like open and close, that means that you're in this desk, this bed, which means you can start moving left. If you do not hear open and close, it means you were in this bed, and you or if you just hear open and don't close, then you're in this bed and you need to move more to the left to actually get through the door. So basically, if I was here, you'd hear go open, close. But if I'm here, I hear open, no close, so I'd start swifting left. Now what you can do is also, once you're open, you can also start drifting left like this, until you see the game load and you actually see where your sprite is, just so that you're already here, even if you spawned here. And if you spawn here, then you'd be like, well, okay, if you spawned here, then you'd go here, and then like, it'd get there, and you'd be somewhere there. So it is, yeah, so just, once you hear the door open, start just drifting left, so keep pressing downwards, just in case you are here, but hold the A key. So, and then once you've done that, you literally have to charge cancel this way, maybe charge cancel up to here, and then you have to get everything, and you have to spam this. You have to spam like that on that thing, and then you have to get every single one of, you have to get both pens and the handkerchief in the one desk. Do a quick craft by putting them all. I suggest, this is just preference, but I find it easier to put my mouse going inwards this way than the other way. So start on this one here. It depends where your mouse already is, but once you get out of here, my mouse is usually around here. So you can go 1, 2, 3 here. It's probably quicker to have your mouse here and then go 1, 2, 3 because there's less space between here and the craft key than there is here. So yeah, mouse is probably better to be here, but just for me, I go right to left for some reason. I probably should change that. But yeah, so you have to get everything in this one disc. You have to spawn in the cell, and you just start by moving downwards until you hear the door open. Then just start pressing A and S at the same time. If you're on controller, just drift to the left, bottom, like diagonally, and then once you can see your sprite properly, then adjust it to what it is. Yeah, so that's how you do that. That's the IL strats. I'll quickly show you the current IL. World record, and then just to give you an example of how it's done, because it takes too much RNG for me to actually get the RNG to do a run here, so I'll quickly show you that now. Okay, so this is the current solo glitchless world record done by mine. Um, and he did it. He did it pretty well. There's still room for improvement, obviously. I'd say sub 12 is definitely possible. But the way he did it is okay. So I'll quickly fast forward that back a bit so you can hear what happened. So he obviously gets here, he spams a thing, and here, there, you hear the door. So that was the door. Then I'll do it a few frames at a time now. Okay, and then you can start to see the thing in front of you. By this point here, you should have seen your sprite, and you should adjust to it. Now, he didn't actually move left enough. I think he kept going down, so he actually kind of got stuck on the door. Yeah, there. So he didn't actually, and the moment he could see his sprite, he started adjusting it. So yeah, that's why you go down immediately and then just drift to the right. If the guard sees you, like this is like if you think you should reset just because the guard sees you, this is the world record and the guard saw him immediately. So you can tell that that's not like the big issue. Just as long as you don't get hit too many times. So if that does happen, just keep going. It's not worth losing a world record run over. So yeah, so he starts running. So there's obviously a bit of time save there if you drift left. So obviously one charge cancel and then I feel like you could do a charge cancel here just to make this just a tiny bit faster, but maybe there isn't. I don't know. Maybe you could charge cancel here and then charge one up to go up this area and then go left. I don't know. Maybe for like a tiny small charge cancel might still be faster. I don't know. I haven't done this run actually, but let's he goes to the desk. He opens it on from this side, not this side. I think that's probably better. So you don't have to get stuck behind this thing. You go down and straight down. And obviously he has his cursor already here, ready to click all the things. So when he does open the desk, he's spamming everything like immediately. Like that's really quick. So the moment there's about one frame before is yeah. So it's about okay. Takes him 1, 2, 3, 4 frames from to start clicking, and he gets every single one of them within like 5 frames. Three or I've lost to like 2 or 3 frames. So he's basically spamming left mouse button on this one square. So as long as you can remember where the square is on your screen, you have to spam it at the moment you open the desk, get all the stuff, and then just run down to the bottom, craft. Okay, so he got pretty unlucky with the guard and how many times it was hidden and what type of guard combat it was, because all the guards there's like a certain like RNG between different guards of how they're gonna combat. So basically, some guards will block a lot, some guards will attack a lot, and some guards will just be a mix of the two. Um, it's really easy to knock out ones who attack a lot just because they don't block. But the only problem is if you're not trying to knock them out, then it can be a bit of a pain if you're trying to get somewhere quickly because they will continue hitting you. In this case, that's exactly what happened. So this would be a bit of a time save, just as he got hit backwards and hit again, and he had to run to the bottom. So yeah, and he's lucky that the guard didn't hit him again right at the end there. So he obviously gets all the stuff. So he gets hit once, hit twice, and then he's lucky that the guard blocked instead of tried to hit him again. Otherwise, it'd be a failed run. So yeah, he got unlucky with the guard, but then kind of lucky at the end without the guard hitting him. So yeah, but that's basically how you're supposed to do IL. So yeah, get out of the cell, drift left. Once you can see a sprite, adjust, and then charge cancel here. You can maybe do another one here. I don't know. I don't know if it's fast. It probably isn't. Hold your mouse over where the square would be. Spam it once you open the desk, and then sprint down here. I don't think you can do it. I guess you could do a charge cancel and then open up your crafting menu to stop the charge cancel, and maybe then craft it from there. Maybe that might be faster. Like, see that you're already hovering over the escape thing. I don't know. That sounds like a strat that could be used to make it faster, perhaps. But yeah. Anyway, that's the IL and that's how that one's done. So yeah, there's a lot of things to improve on, but it's hard to get them all in one go, especially on this type of level where there's very little time to do it. Anyway, but yeah, that's how you do My Little Phoney. Okay, so now we're gonna look at Hooked on You, the IL world record for it. Now, it is better if you start in this cell, especially in this bed. So same thing. Immediately start moving down and then start drifting left, just in case you're in one of these two cells. But don't drift left too far because you don't want to start going that way. So, but you should be able to see your sprite before you start drifting all the way that way. And basically, you have to charge cancel the hell out of all of these straight. So you can do one there, one here. And you usually don't care about if guards see you, just as long as not too many see you. And if you get hit, doesn't matter, just keep going. You can grab this desk if this guard's all the way over here and you don't want him to see you. You go all the way here, and then you probably lose a guard. And basically, you can only search you can only search this disc. If the guard's in there, I suggest you don't search that disc and you keep going. Yeah, damn it. Yeah. If this guard's in here, then you just need to, if the guard's in, you can search this disc. Basically, out of these 3 discs, there's one here, and one here. You need to search 2 of them, and I suggest you search the first one and the third one. Or if the guard is coming up via this way and still get into that room, then I suggest you search this disc and then run through him. But basically the rule is you can only search 2 discs. You only have time to search 2 discs, because the world record is like 54 seconds or something, and there's not enough time to search all 3 discs and do the escape. So I suggest you go this disc first. If you can't search this disc first, then you need to be able to search this disc and the last disc. Or just go for the disc, and even if you can't search the last disc, it's possible to get all of the items on one disc, so just try for it, I guess. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways to doing this run. There's different variations you can do. But basically, you need to search all 2 of the 3 discs, and then quickly craft it and then get to the escape. Because there's a lot of different ways of doing it. There's it's a bit hard to explain when just doing an IL. So well, at least for me, just doing it here. So I'm gonna show you the IL world record for this escape. And yeah, I'll show you how that one's done. But just remember there are still other ways to do it than the IL has done it. You just have to adjust to where the guards are. So like, if this guard say was maybe just coming up here as I was coming in, I might be tempted to either grab the disc and go down. But if he's here already, I just wait for him to go down and then search the disc, go over top, and then try to avoid him. Or I'd go under him if I didn't search fast enough. And then after that, once I've searched that disc, if the guard was here or going into here, I would just immediately run past him and go this way. Do not attract this guard, because you do not have enough time to knock him out, and you also will get beat up if you try this disc and do the escape. So yeah, if he's going up here and if he's in this area, do not search this disc. Go straight to this one and search it, and then see if you get the rest of the stuff. Okay, with all that being said, I'll show you the IL. Okay, so this is the current IL record. Apologies to mine, I didn't know it was 49 seconds. I don't really look at these transport runs. Yeah, I think I said it was 54 seconds earlier. No, so it's 49 seconds, so it's pretty quick. So obviously, just start the game up, and I don't know which disc he spawns in for this one. Okay, so he spawns in the good cell and obviously gets through the door pretty quickly. Now you can start charge canceling here to go diagonally up, which he does, and then stopping right on the same horizontal as the door. Then you charge cancel on this long straight, then on this long straight. If the guard's here, you probably don't have to worry about him going up and seeing you, just because he stays there for a very long time. So I wouldn't worry too much about him seeing you. See, he's still there. Okay. Okay, let's go back a bit. So on this one here, you do a charge cancel. On this one here, you do a charge cancel. On this one here, you do a charge cancel. And then you can probably save one for that. You can still do one here, but I think it's probably best to save one just to do one here. Yeah. And okay, so he can see that this guard here is gonna come up this way. And is probably gonna see this guard. He's got enough time to search the desk, but this guard might see him before he finishes searching. Which it will do, yeah. So, but he's got a crowbar. So you remember you're looking for 2 crowbars, duct tape, and rope. So whatever you find in the desk, you just need to grab. Okay. Also, this guard is all the way over here. So yeah, so he just searches this desk immediately, because he knows that if he tries to go this way, this guy will come up and see him. And oh, okay, never mind. You have time to search all 3 desks. And I now realize that you have time because he had to knock out guards. So if the guards don't see you, then you have time to knock out to get all 3 discs. But if the guards do see you, then I suggest you have to only search 2 discs. Ah, okay. So basically, I was wrong, and I didn't realize that you could do it with only 3 discs. I guess if you wanted improving it a lot, then you could just search 2 discs. But yeah, basically it's very possible with 3 discs. Okay, never mind. I was wrong. But yeah, basically just charge cancel in the right places. If you have to knock out a guard, knock them out. And yeah, I guess you have enough time. So you should be searching this first disc by around like 20 seconds, or like searching it can start searching it by about 17 or 18. And then if you're going to be searching this next disc, it probably should be around 27 or 26. And then this one should be around 40 seconds. And obviously the escape is at 49. But basically, yeah, that's IL. It can vary a lot depending on what happens, but you just have to adjust to that, and you'll get more used to adjusting by doing this run more. Yeah. Okay, now on to Orca. So Orca is done basically the same way as Cougar, in the fact that you just need to search discs until you find the items you need. This one's a lot more complicated because there's separate floors and there's separate directions, where Cougar is just you literally go left and right on one floor. So it also that means there's a certain order of discs you should search to get the best efficiency. So I'll be showing you that for all prisons, and then for the ILs, I'll go into further detail. Also, I believe the video for the IL world record on the alternate escape for this is actually not available anymore for some reason. I don't know if that means it's not on the leaderboard anymore, but it's still there, so I'll look at that later. But yeah, so I'll just show you second place for that escape attempt. But yeah, okay, so without further ado, let's hop into how to do it all prison style. Okay, so when you start off, best disc to spawn in my opinion, is either this disc or this disc, because you can go one of 2 ways. You should also, a good way to do this is by knocking out the first guard if he's there. You don't have to do this if you feel like you don't want to. It's just good because you can get you can get the red key, and you have outfits. And if you lower your heat enough before more guards see you, then you won't get attacked and you don't have to worry about knocking out people. Now the way you should do this, there's a few ways of going about it depending on where you spawn and depending if you get the guard or not. If you get the guard and you're close enough to here and you grab the red key, I suggest you go and search the contraband desk and the medic desk first, before he wakes up. But if you spawn all the way over here and the guard's nowhere near you, then I suggest you search this desk first, and then go. Okay, so basically what you're looking for is basically both escapes require tubing. So this is the number 1 item. You want for the escape, no matter what, you need this, and there's only one. There's only spawns 1 disc. So this can make or break a run, to be honest. If you get this early or you get whatever. Now this run only requires 2 items for the fastest escape, which is tubing and bolts. And those can spawn on the same disc as the IL obviously shows, but usually you won't get them on the same disc, and usually you won't get them like very quickly either. So yeah, so you only need 2 items for the escape, but you should just do the escape of whichever you can get first, because if you get all the stuff for the alternate escape at the start, it can be so much. You don't want to have to like keep searching discs just in case you get the bolts or whatever to do the other escape, because the bolts could be in the very last disc right at the top near the other escape, so it's just not worth it. Just go straight to the other one. So the things you should be looking for is, obviously you need the tubing, and if you have the tubing and you get bolts, then you've finished, because you can do the jet ski escape. That's the only 2 items you need. And then for the other item, you still need tubing, but you also need duct tape and the tank of oxygen to make like makeshift diving gear or something like that. So in this disc here, if you don't already have a baton, you can take the crowbar as a weapon, but we obviously need the tubing, and we haven't got the bolts, so we can take the duct tape. Then we go down this way, and then you should search this disc first. Also, but if the guard's going up this way, if he's already gone up here, I suggest you search this disc first. Quickly search it, grab all the stuff. If there is anything, there wasn't, it was timber and sock mace, and then go all the way down so he doesn't see you. It doesn't matter anymore because my heat is low, but if you have heat, or if you're not wearing a guard outfit on, I suggest you search that disc first. If he is not here, if he's up there, if he's going up there, or if he's already there, you can still do it, but you might have to wait a bit for him to come back down. But yeah, if he's here, I suggest you search this disc first, wait for him to go up, and then go there and there. So yeah, that's the little thing you just have to adjust to during the run. So yeah, again, search medic disc and contraband disc. Then if you're close enough, if you're not close enough, just go this disc, go down, and do these discs in whatever order. Then come this way. You will likely have to knock out this guard on the way, at some point, unless he like gets perfect RNG, but usually you have to knock him out. And okay, so here I actually got everything I need to. I got bolts and the tank of oxygen, and I've already got these two things. So I got really, really lucky, but I'm going to carry on to show you the rest of the order of the discs that you should be going in, even though I already have everything. So you search this disc, then I suggest you go up and search this disc first. Now, it's probably faster to go this disc than this disc, but honestly, I do it based on where this guard is. If this guard is over here, I would go this disc first, maybe, or just where he's not going to see, because this guy's path is really, really confusing sometimes. He goes all over the place. So honestly, I don't think it matters too much which disc you search first. I guess that you still have to go up and down here and then back up this way. I guess maybe going here is faster, because this is a bit of a, I don't know. It's probably about the same. But either way, it doesn't really matter. Just what matters most is that this guard doesn't see you, unless you've obviously got zero heat, whatever. Then you can do it whatever you like. But yeah. Now, if you haven't already grabbed the medic disc yet here, I actually don't know if it's a lower chance for the items to spawn in the medic disc, but I do know that they spawn frequently in the medic disc, as like same frequency as all the other discs. So I highly suggest you do not skip this, because I've done it many times in All Presence runs, and it's screwed me over so many times. So if you haven't already searched the medic disc from the start, I suggest you do that once you come up these stairs. And after that, if you already have the red key, if you knocked the guard over here, and you didn't want to go here first, you can go and search the contraband disc and go up this way. But if you've already done that, you can go around this way. And if you don't have the red key, you can just still go around this way and just go up the stairs and down the other stairs through to the other room, and then you can search this one. So yeah, and again, you need to search these two discs because they do spawn in medic and contraband discs, unfortunately. So you can't skip those, which is unfortunate. But okay, and then after that, you should come up here and search these discs. Do your best to avoid guards, again, if you don't have a guard outfit or you've got high heat, you know. So yeah, and then you should search this disc, and then come over this way. Remember to be charge cancelled this entire time unless you have extreme low energy and you might need to fight someone. Search this disc next. And then this one here, and then go all the way over here and finally search that one. Now, a good run, I would say, you get everything on either, well, I mean, a really, really good run is getting everything from these two discs if you start there, or even just the medic disc. A run for an All Prisons run that if you're looking for like a really close world record time, I would be looking to get everything in these three discs or the next two. If you get to here, you're sort of wasting a bit more time, and it might be a bit of a worse run. But you certainly do not want to get through all these discs and not have everything. Like if you make it to the top, if you make it to 4-3, then the run's probably like over for this sort of thing. But again, just keep searching that in those order, and then finally, you know, do whatever you need to do. And yeah. And by the way, that's if you're going to quickly enter in the stuff to the jet ski, it's tubing first, then bolts. So if you're pressing E on the thing that's not working with bolts, it's probably because it's tubing first and then bolts. So remember to go tubing, E, bolts, E. Yeah. Or just quick rough this and make sure it's in inventory and press escape here. So yeah, that's how you do All Prisons. I'm now going to show you how to do it as an IL, or show the strat for IL for both of them. Actually, no, I'll show the IL strat first, and then I'll show you the alternate escape, and then I'll show the other two videos. All right. So let's start with the current like IL strats world record. Okay, so the IL strats here, cool for you to be in this cell here. So basically, it starts off with a 1 in 5 chance of you actually spawning the right disc. So you have to spawn in this cell. Actually, I think one of these cells it's impossible to spawn. I have a feeling. I think it might be this one, but I don't know for sure. I think this one is impossible to spawn in, but I don't actually know. But you need, basically, it calls for you to spawn in this exact disc here, and then you need to charge cancel your way through here, and like maybe once, open up this medic disc, and you need to get tubing and bolts. You need to spam this square like we did in Cougar. Grab tubing and bolts from it. Oh God's sake, can you go away? Then you need to charge cancel your way down here, charge cancel the jet ski, and go EE, and then you're escaping. So that's the IL strats for this one. So obviously it takes a lot of RNG, as most of these IL runs do. But yeah, so that's how I can't believe I just died to that guy, but that's right. But so yeah, so make sure you know where the square is on like for the discs. Spam it once you open up the discs to grab the tubing and the bolts, then charge cancel your way back to this jet ski, and you need to spawn in the cell. So yeah, with all that, let's hop into the video so I can show you the IR world record. Okay, so this is the current IR world record. It's done in 13 minutes, 13 minutes, sorry, 13 seconds, and 540 milliseconds. So obviously, yeah, he spawns here and is already charge cancelling, ready to charge cancel once he gets out. So once you hear the door, you should immediately start charging up your charge cancel, and then looking. Oh, okay, so he actually didn't end up doing it. I guess what he actually no, okay. So scratch the charge cancel. You should start charge canceling once you're here, and then go slightly up to charge cancel through to here, and then go down. I think the reason he didn't is because he's been when this world record was at the time, you could still spawn in these cells and have it still work. So he was charge canceling to go along from here and here, where there's no point in doing it here. It's probably just going to slow you down. So, but yeah, but if you have to spawn in the cell, but to make it that slightly bit faster, start charging up here. Then once you get to like just there, you go diagonally up, and then you can charge cancel along here, go down, which will probably faster than what he does. Like yeah, I mean I guess I actually maybe it might be slow. I don't know because he goes diagonally down there. I don't know. But yeah, and then he opens the disc. He has his cursor ready to go, and then he spams like right there. He goes immediately, takes a couple frames. Obviously, not frame perfect. 1, 2, and then immediately gets out of it. And then charge cancels along the straight. Charge cancels along the straight. Or it actually goes diagonally down. So what he does there is actually quite smart. Actually, I'll go back a bit. What he does here is actually quite smart. He doesn't go all the way down here because he wants space to do the diagonal without getting hit by the barrier of the thing. So he stays at the top one, charges up, and then goes diagonally down straight from here so he doesn't hit this barrier. Because if he went down here, then he'd just go straight into it. So he charge cancels there. I mean, doesn't nick it slightly, but that's fine. And then obviously just sprints in here, and then 1, 2, done. So that's the IL. Another thing you should know is his charge cancels. He is not using escape. He is using, I don't know if you caught that, he's using Q and click. So this run is definitely, obviously with that extra charge cancel here, I don't know if that saves any time or not, but it's obviously a time save if you're using escape because he's running down the time in this extra. I mean, he does them really quickly. I mean, this one takes a bit longer, I think. Oh no, he does them pretty quickly, but there's still milliseconds that you can save. So yeah, this is not a perfect run, but it's pretty close to it. It's so yeah. All right, I'll show you how to do the Scuba Doo IL. I actually don't know how to do the Scuba Doo IL. I've never looked at it, so I'm just gonna go straight into the other video and show you how it's done. Okay, so this is the Scuba Doo old world record, second place by Moep. And basically, but yeah, well, basically the video for the current world record is actually not available, so yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I don't actually know how to do this IL, or I don't know the path for the IL. I assume you grab the red key first and then go down and back up, and so you search like one disk and get everything. I just don't know exactly. I in my mind I see you spawning in the cell that goes directly down towards the red key door. Knock out the guard like really quickly. Go through there, sprint, charge cancel through the staircase, and then search the very last desk by the escape, so you don't waste any time on the way getting there, because that's like right on the doorway, on the pathway to get there. Let me see. I don't think this is what I don't think this is what Moab did. Okay, so he does knock out the red guard. He grabs his key, obviously, and goes down this way. He could have charge cancelled there, so it could be faster. He also waits for this guard. I don't know why. Oh, okay. He searches this desk if he needs to. Okay, he gets tubing. So he's already searched one desk. Oh, and he goes up here. That's not what I expected him to do. I guess he sees this guard over here and thinks that he'll be waiting there, so he won't be able to get past him. I guess that makes sense. And then he gets everything else. Whoa, that's really weird. What is this cursor doing? Wait, what? Okay, this is completely off topic, but his cursor is like above the things. Wait, what? How did he click it from there? That's so weird. That's really strange. Okay, well yeah, okay, so it looks like his cursor is off slightly. I don't know if that's a problem with his PC or the game or whatever, but I'm not going to question it. But yeah, but he searches two disks, but in my opinion, the fastest would be getting the red key, charge cancelling all the way up here through here, and then charge cancelling all the way down to this disk, because that's like on the pathway. As you can see, he goes all the way here, because that's only like one tile away from the exit. So yeah, I would have, if you're going for world record, I would do that one and then go. But yeah, no. So this is the way he does it. But I think if you're going for IL, I think you have to do it with the red key and then go sprint down here. I guess you could technically get away with searching 2 desks if you search this one and then that one, because this one's closer than the one he did up there, which is quite a big tangent off. So you could probably get sub 30 pretty easily. Probably close to sub 25 if you just search the 1 desk. But yeah. So this is I mean this is second place. The first place is like 32 seconds, so it's actually not much of an improvement. So yeah, I'd say there's a lot of room for improvement here, but yeah, that's what the current world record is. Okay, now let's go into Air Force Con. Okay, now for Air Force Con. I'll start with the all prison strat and then go into the IL strat. This one again, same as all the other transport prisons. It's just a route to search for the discs as quickly as possible, and then escaping. So yeah, let's just hop into that. Okay, so the run starts off, and when you get to the screen and you're pressing a left mouse button, once you click that, you should already be pressing S, and then hold, and then once you hear your character get out of the bed, you should be holding down E, and I'll show you why. So here I'm now holding down S, and I'm already out of the bed, and if I hold E, I pick up the bed sheet. Now the reason you need the bed sheet is because you're supposed to be making a parachute, and this is going to be the part of the parachute to obviously slow yourself down. So this escape calls for a few things. This is probably the one you have to keep track of most in terms of items. Energy items are great because you have a long way to go if you don't get all the items immediately, and you need the energy for charge cancelling. Another thing that you need to be looking out for, basically, the best escape is the parachute escape, which is why you grab the bed sheet at the start, and it calls for 3 ropes plus the bed sheet. Basically, it saves a bit of time just going down and then picking up the bed sheet after you've got 3 ropes. If you do have to, because there's so many items you have to get for the escapes, it is best to, if you get too many items in a disc and you still haven't gotten all of them yet, it is best to just leave this behind and grab the rest of them. So, but the other items that you need, apart from the 3 ropes for that one escape, the other escape calls for an energy module, a screwdriver, and a circuit board. So there's circuit boards in here, so we'll take that. And the energy module is crafted by 2 batteries and a wire. So you've got a lot of stuff to keep track of here. Now basically, all of the items is bed sheet, 3 ropes, that's 4 items, plus circuit board and screwdriver, that's 6 items. And then all the stuff for the energy module. So that's actually 9 items total. And you're thinking, well, you only have 6 item slots, so how are you gonna carry all of those? Well, basically, it works like you don't need all this energy. You can get rid of the energy. If you have a bed sheet, you can also get rid of that, to the point where you're only holding a battery, a wire, a circuit board, and the 2 ropes. Because basically, if you've got full inventory slots, remember, you're only grabbing stuff until you have everything for 1 escape. So if you're holding everything and you still only need 1 more item, so if you've got the entire energy module and circuit board and you've got and you only need the screwdriver, then as long as you've got everything else, you just have to wait to get the screwdriver. And you've got 2 slots left behind those 2. So if you've still got 2 ropes, then you just have to wait to the next one. So okay. So also disc searching. Start obviously with, first grab your stuff, but start with this disc, then this disc up here, then go down the stairs and search, depending on where this guard is. If he's coming up this way, maybe wait for him and then go to this disc first and then this disc. It doesn't matter too much which disc you search for the rest, but you should do it based on this guard. So if he's going down or whatever, just make sure that his pathway, he does a lot of stuff down here, so he doesn't stay out there for too long. So you can probably time it right with him to not have him see you. Again, if you knock out the guard at the start from him accidentally seeing you, then you can just use the guard outfit. But yeah, so you should, I don't think it matters too much which of these tests you search first. Maybe this one first, so that you can charge cancel across here. I don't know, but it probably just depends on where you are. Okay, so at this point I've only got this stuff, but you want to be grabbing everything. So okay, so I now have all the batteries and the circuit board. So if I get a wire here, then and a wire and a rope, but obviously I don't have the last rope and I don't have the screwdriver, then I'm going to drop the bed sheet just so I can carry all of the extra stuff, and then wait for the last one. Oh, God's sake, no, just knock it out. I'm gonna drop the bed sheet so I have space for all the other stuff, and then I'm gonna keep searching until I find the stuff. So also this guard can be very tricky. Yeah, okay. I'm not doing this run very well right now, but that's alright. Yeah, and then you after going down to after coming up and from searching these discs, search this disc, then come up these stairs and search this disc. This guard can very easily see you if you don't time it right. Okay, so right here. So this is a perfect example. I have the batteries, 2 batteries, the circle board, and the screwdriver, but I do not have the last item, which is a wire, and I've only got 2 ropes. But I have my inventory collected out with the bedsheet. So get rid of the bedsheet because it's not as important. You can get another one, but you can't get another rope. So carry all of these items, and then keep searching until you find the last item for one of these escapes. Now that last item is going to be either the wire or the other rope. Now I haven't got it yet. I actually don't know if I searched the disc down there, but anyway. Again, on this map, the contraband and the medic discs both can have items, so make sure you search those as well, unlike Cougar. But yeah, on HMP and these ones, they can all have the items, so make sure you search them. Okay, in this case it doesn't though, so we'll just keep going. This guard's probably gonna see me, so I'll... If you get the screwdriver early, use it as a weapon if you have to knock out more guards. But yeah. Okay. Then you just keep searching, obviously. Okay, there we go. I found the wire. So get rid of one of your ropes because it's not part of this escape. Then quickly craft the batteries, the energy module. I'm gonna keep going until I find the other rope, just so I can show you. Actually, okay, I probably don't need to. So you want to craft the makeshift harness with 3 ropes, and then together with the harness and the bedsheet, use those 2 to craft the last thing. Okay, and then just go down to the second floor, and that like just above the cells to the right is where the escape is, and you just press E with the parachute. If you have everything else, you need, obviously, the energy module, the screwdriver, and the circle board. The order, you have to put them into the control machine, which is here. And the way to do it, the order is circle board first, then energy module, then screwdriver. And then press E1 final time to trigger the escape. So that's how you do it all prisons. I will now show you how to do it IL for each of the 2 strats, and then I'll show you the videos and whatever. Okay, so again with the strat, you should already be holding S. Once the thing isn't holding E again, and then you just need to, I would suggest going up again, but you should, the aim should have faded in by that point so you can see where you are. And then you want to charge cancel up this way, and do 1 charge cancel here. Now, one thing that's probably going to happen if you're speedrunning this for this run, this guard will see you. Also requirements for this run, because of how slow it is, because it's done on controller and how slow the crafting was, does not matter which of these 4 cells you spawn in, but you do need to be quick. So you open up this disc, and obviously, again, with this one, you do not hover your mouse over here and then spam this, because it can spawn with this many items, and the ropes, from my experience, usually spawn always near the end, or if not, the very last 3. So never ever spam the start, because then if you quit out the disc, then you have to research it, and the run's over. So open up the disc, and maybe have your mouse here to spam, just so you don't clutter up your inventory, and then if you see the 3 ropes, immediately move to where they are, and then grab them all. So basically the requirements for this run is that it doesn't really matter where you spawn as long as you can adjust to it, and then you have to search, go up here, charge cancel as many times as you can to get here, and then grab the 3 ropes quickly, do a quick craft between the 3 of them, craft, and then craft with the bedsheet and the harness together, and then charge cancel your way through here, and you can do an extra one there if you need to, and then grab it and press the escape key. That's how you do that. I've been doing this one for ages, still haven't got the 3 ropes, but I'll get there. Okay, so this is the current IL board record. It's done controller, so obviously it's slower than it's very much improvable. So obviously loads in. And he spawns, I think he spawns in the closest desk, if I'm not wrong, so obviously that's a really good RNG part of this. I mean, it's not necessary, but it definitely helps. Yeah, he spawns here, he grabs the thing. He doesn't do the strat where you go down and then immediately start, he just starts running around until he can see himself and then picks it up, which I don't understand. But yeah, you can save time there. He does, okay, so this is one part where the control is better because it's slight diagonal and he actually does that perfectly. So he does that well. He gets here, and then grabs all 3 ropes. Okay, so there you can see that there were 2 items in front of the ropes and they all spawn like near the middle. So again, my strat with like having your mouse hovering over like the end is probably a good idea, just so you don't clutter up your inventory just in case the ropes are not there. But you also, because of how many items can spawn in these discs, you shouldn't have it spamming there. And he obviously grabs on them pretty quickly as well for controller. Then you can see that this is pretty slow. I mean, it's not bad crafting speed for a controller, but again, it's definitely improvable. and then he grabs them all, and he escapes. So yeah, that's the IR world record, and that's how you do it. Okay, on to how to do IL strats for Passport to Freedom. I believe this one is the exact same as this one, except you need to get, obviously getting all the items in the first disc, and then you also need to, and then it's just charge cancelling up to the top. So you probably already imagined how it's done, but I'll just quickly give you a demo on where you should be going. So for this one, you don't actually need to go down and grab and hold the ability. I think you actually need to spawn one of these two discs to do it. But either way, just charge cancel your way up to here without the guard seeing you. I think it's a must. Search this disc, and you need to get both batteries, wire, circuit board, and screwdriver all in one disc. And then you need to charge cancel your way up this way. So one charge cancel there, one there, probably one here, a short one. Big long ones, try to elongate them as long as possible. If the guard sees that, it's fine, as long as you've crafted it, and then E with all the things, and you escape. Alright, I'll show you the world record, because that was probably quite hectic, and you probably couldn't understand anything I was saying. So I'll explain that a bit better in the video. Okay, so this is the world record. Now, it's obviously improvable, because I think he actually spawns, I think I was wrong before, I think he actually spawns in the bottom discs, and he also, I think, is grinding for the current world record, but instead of getting that, he gets everything for the other escape in the first disc, so he ends up getting that world record. Yeah, so he spawns here, and he grabs the bed sheet from the other escape, and puts it this way, so it doesn't actually waste too much money. But again, it's definitely, like if you're going for this type of run, then it's definitely beatable. And there, he gets both batteries, wire, circuit board, and screwdriver. So he grabs all of those. Yeah, okay. So he spends quite a lot of time actually grabbing those, so there's definitely more improvement there. But yeah, so you have to grab everything in the first disc. Doesn't really matter where you spawn again. But yeah, just all of that. Then he click the crafts. He does a pretty good craft. And then okay, so he actually does a diagonal charge cancel, which I think is actually better. It's a straight one. Okay, so he does like a sort of semi-diagonal one. I would probably just skip that and then just get ready for the diagonal again. Do a straight one again. Straight. The guard does actually see it, but again, he does. Okay, but that's alright. As long as you can make it past them without getting too much, without dying is the fine, and just make sure you know what order you're supposed to go in. So he's already got his mouse hovering over energy module once he presses E on the thing. So he presses E. Yeah, so he does that pretty quickly. E. Click E on energy module, click E on this. And then make sure you just spam E. Just spam E, like here, he gets up here, and he's immediately got his mouse over the energy module ready to go. So once he clicks E, he can just go clicky, clicky, clicky. And then obviously, most people will sometimes, like, they'll get to the screwdriver, press E, and then wonder why it's not working. You need to press E again, some people don't, and then they mess it all up. So you just make sure you're spamming E that entire time, and that's the one. So definitely improvable if you want to go for it. But yeah, that's how it's done. Okay, so that probably concludes this part of the guide, part 3 of the guide, all of the transport prisons. Kind of late doing this one. I've just been very busy and I'm very tired, if you can't tell from my voice. But yeah, that's all the transport. I don't know what the next video will probably be on. Probably something to do with Power Camp or maybe HMP and USS. Also, I'm not going to just do the main prison, I'm going to do DLC as well, so that'll probably be the last thing I do if I had to guess. I'll probably do DLC as the last thing. Also, I just realized I'm on the old version. I haven't switched versions to the new version, but that's alright. I don't think it changes transport by anything major. But yeah, so the next episode will probably be on something HMP wise or USS, and then after that I'll do separate episodes for Kapow, Tundra, and Area 17, just because they're all they've got so much to talk about in all of them, and they'll probably take up an entire video each. And then I'll do DLC, and I think maybe at the end I'll do an all prisons run to like I'll do a full all prisons run guide. I'll do one full run and explain myself as I go, just to give a demo if like for an all prisons run, so they don't have to watch all the videos one after the other, and you can just watch me as I do it. Maybe as a final video, and then obviously there's more guides I'll do after that, but yeah, just for this series I think that's what I'll do. But yeah, thanks for watching.